Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, HG Gundam Aesculapius from the Gundam G-Unit series. Now, the G-Unit storyline is basically a side story of the Gundam Wing series that we know. Now, I haven't really read the manga or did any specific research on this specific series as well, but once again, I have played a lot of Gundam G Generation games to know the basic gist of these, what the story is about. Now, for those who don't know what this unit is exactly, or this mobile suit is that, now, we actually had the Gundam Geminass Unit 1 and 2. The Unit 1 was, I believe, was the white one. The Unit 2 was the blue and gray colored version. Now, basically, when those two were, being, those two Gundams were made, they were being, tested and whatnot. The Unit 2 was assumably destroyed with the pilot. However, both of them actually survived, and then the enemy unit took over the Unit 2 and basically modified the Gundam Geminass Unit 2 into this. So yeah, they added a lot of extra colors, and this thing does have a transformation going on, so which we will go over. Alright, so once again, let's see what we got. Now, first of all, let's go over components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the unit itself. Definitely, I do like the color scheme. Now, I am aware that there was a very old no-grade 1/144 scale kit. I've seen those in stores as a young kid. Never bought one because I never really liked the design. At the time, I have actually built one of those no-grade 1/144 kits. As much as it was fun to build, but it was something of a quality that I didn't want to really touch again. So, because I really never had really great experiences with those kits at that time. But still, yeah. So don't expect any comparisons between those kits, since I never owned one. Alright, so other than that, so we actually get a fully open hand for the left arm. We get a multi-purpose hand for left and right, but just to save time, I also just already attached the one of the multi-purpose hands to the guns that are stored onto the back skirt. So just wanted to point that out, and just to save time. And also, we also have some 2 orange beam sabers. Now, I've seen some comparison, pictures where the old version actually had a different mold for the beam saber, but was in plastic, if I remember correctly. So yeah, these are just your standard beam saber, effect parts, but in orange. Now, I really don't care about how different or how the original was, since that's actually plastic. So I'd rather have a clear beam saber. And other than that, let's see some basic stuff. So we do get a sticker decal sheet. These are one of those sticker type, so peel off style decal sheets. Nothing too special. It's just there. And then we do get a sticker sheet. Now, it may look like a lot, but I didn't really use everything. And so basically here I use the eyes, and anything that is used for the camera, it has been used. Now, all these other stuff, like these 2 yellow parts, are for the head that goes onto around the side vents, or that general area of the head. And then these are all extra vent details that are supposed to go onto the leg, but I decided not to use them because I felt like if I actually applied these, the kit might actually look messy, which is why I did not apply them. Alright, so now, being a P-Bandai kit, there are some leftover parts, so let's see what we got. So let me back up a little bit. So let's see. So as you can expect, since this was a recycled Gundam Geminass Unit 2, here we actually do get some parts for the Geminass 2. So here are some inner parts. So just to clarify, in the manual, it does tell you to make the beam rifle that the Geminass Unit 2 uses, but I decided not to make it because I don't really remember the Gundam Aesculapius actually using this rifle, as far as I know. So, which is why I did not build it, but I can always use it for a different project or kit. Here we have some other parts here. Here we have the shield parts. And then, yeah, here we have some other parts, even for the dedicated trigger finger hand for the rifle is also present. So that's good. And let's see what we got. So here we have the C plate. So on C1 here, we actually get almost all the parts to make the head. The only thing we're missing is the inner, face, the face frame part. So, and then here we have another the rifle parts. Here we have parts for the legs and such. So yeah, we do actually get a good amount of parts. And then here is C2. Seems that we also get the knee part and other parts as well. And then, yes, actually this kit does use polycaps. There was actually 2 plates of polycaps. One of them was this, the other one was a smaller version. So we do get a good amount of polycap leftovers. And then here we have the B plate. So I believe we should have, yeah, here is a B2. This is a leftover because there should be another one, but still, here we have some more parts as well. And then here we have the F plate. So once again, this is the, I believe, should be the original, leg connector for the Geminass Unit 2. And then here we have the A plate, 2 of them, so it's more of a repeat. So I believe this is the original shoulder parts. For those who don't know how the Gundam Geminass Unit 1 and 2 shoulder works, is that you actually make a basic looking shoulder, and then you attach another armor piece on top of it, so which is why this looks very simple. And here we have some other parts as well. Here we have some other parts. I can't really remember everything, and I say, hey, I think this might be the actual original faceplate for the Gundam Geminass Unit 2. So I think you might be actually to be able to make the original head. Of course, you're going to be lacking the stickers, of course. So here another a repeat. So yeah, definitely gives us a good amount of information that this was actually based on the Gundam Geminass Unit 2. So let me get rid of the rotating stand, and let's see what we got. So let's see the articulation first. So one thing I would like to mention is that because of the overall design and the size of the shoulder, this does get the shoulders do will get weak eventually. So sometimes I would have times the kid would be drooping down the shoulder, or sometimes the arm just popping out in general. So just be aware of that. Alright, so let's see what we got in the head. Now, the head definitely looks very menacing compared to the original Geminass Unit 2. Definitely a more sinister and evil looking head, and a very unique V-fin going on here. And actually, if you look between the V-fins, there's actually a small red sticker that you have to apply there. It's not easy, but yeah, you can apply that. And the eyes you should have no problems applying these eye stickers as well. Now the V-fin, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be considered a V-fin, but very odd looking V-fin as well. And then we have another antenna popping out from between them, so definitely odd design. But still, since the neck is a polycab, you can go down that much, up that much. And 360, I would say, should be possible since it is on a ball joint. But once again, rotating it is going to be very difficult because there's a lot of stuff going on the way. So that's that. Now let's get the arms. So the arms, they're basically the ball jointed arms, ball jointed shoulder parts. Connecting to the polycaps inside the main body. So you do have a forward and backward movement going on here. And I would like to mention, since it is a ball joint, you should be able to go 360, but once again, there's a lot of stuff going on the way, so make sure you know where you're going. And then the arms can go to the side, 90 degrees to the side, but you can kind of lift them up a little bit more if you want to do so. And I believe these arms should be pretty much the same as the original Geminass Unit 2, if I remember correctly. Now, if there's a main reason that I didn't bring out my Geminass Unit 1 is as mentioned, as someone who owns 200 plus kits, I'm having trouble locating certain kits of my own. So please do understand that. And then bend-wise, yes, it still uses the C-clip type joints, but still it's not really the most basic version out there. So they did put some consideration onto how to tighten the joints. So yeah, so you do go about 90 degrees upwards, but yeah. I think that's the only limitations when it comes to the C-clip type joints here. Now the shoulders, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So before we go I'm going to take off one arm. Actually, I should take off this arm just to give you guys an idea how it works. So I'll show you guys that later. But for now, let's look at the main body. The main body actually has a pretty sorry about that. It has a pretty decent ab crunch going on. There is a small ab crunch. There's actually a joint on the bottom that can move, so which is why it does give you a nice bend forward like that. So, oh boy, yeah, this kit is a little bit hard to touch. So just please understand that. So I believe there is another joint on the bottom here, which allows you to move the body forward like that. Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, there is a small joint, but it's a very stiff joint, which is why it doesn't. There we go. Yeah, let me just take this off. So you can go forward about this much. The main reason for that is because you can take it off, and then you can see there's a joint that allows you to move. Oh boy, there we go. Now there's a joint that allows you to move upwards a little bit, so which is why that's that. And you still actually have the original back skirt of the Geminass unit. So a single ball joint to one. Yeah, not ideal. That will rotate a lot when you're moving this kit. So let me just reattach this. And yeah, all right, so now let's get the back here. Here we have the small guns that you can store them in. Here there's actually a peg here and a hole there, so which is why you should be able to store them pretty easily, and they are a pretty stable connection. Now, despite how simple the handle looks like for these guns, you need to actually take off the handguard and then reattach it, so it doesn't slide into the hand right away. So that's that. And now here we have the backpack here. You may see a thruster here, and this is also pretty much for the transformation here. So it does move, but once again, basically you have to take off the head and then flip this up to, you know, to become that crabbish or like Zegok-ish design mode. All right, let's see what we got for the legs. So I believe these are the original front skirts of the design, at least for design. I'm not sure color-wise if these are supposed to be the original color for the Unit 2. I never bought Unit 2 since I had Unit 1, so please understand that. And then the side skirts can also move a little bit upwards. As I mentioned before, the back skirts are also on a single ball joint, so it does move pretty much any way you want. And then for the weapon rack here, it is also on a slight ball joint, so you should be able to move it around a little bit. So you can just rotate it and then like this. So let me just take this off just to give you guys a better idea. So so it's on a peg here, and it was on a polycap joint. So sorry about that. I might have mistaken with a different joint I was thinking about. All right. So other than that, so the front skirt actually comes in a single piece, but in the manual they actually tell you to split them up. So you are able to split them up, and then we do get a nice decent side swivel going on here, and then the legs should be able to go to the side almost 90 degrees if it weren't for the side skirts. But once again, I believe you can rotate them to the side, and then there you go. You can go to the side 90 degrees. And let's see, the bend wise, it's pretty well done. This is not a C-clip type joint, so they kind of changed that. And then the feet here, now there's a lot of stuff going on the feet, but basically it's just the feet here, so no need to worry about that. You do get a decent pivot joint, and then we get all this armor part that's wrapping around the feet. So just keep that in mind, and I believe where did it go? So yeah, here's another sticker I used here, so that's that. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. So articulation wise, it's pretty much your standard Gunpla kit articulation here, but this thing does have a transformation that can transform into like a Zegok-ish design or like a crabbish design. So here's how it works for the arms. So basically you have to detach the top shoulder part like that, and then it will reveal a wire cabled part connecting thing here. So yeah, this part is kind of a little bit odd. So basically you extend this out first, and then you have to, and then for the shoulder parts here, this part you have to do some transformation here. So you have to pull this white part downwards and then make sure it goes all the way inside like that. So before finishing it off, you have to pull it downwards like that, and then make sure the hands that goes inside here, and to give out that illusion that this is a claw now. So you do this for each of the arms. So, and I would like to mention these yellow parts are actually claws, so they can actually move up and down as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, of course, there is a slight problem that I wasn't really expecting with this transformation, which I will go into later. But for now, another thing I would like to mention, that the beam sabers are stored inside the shoulder as well. So here is the beam saber hilt, and as you can see, here we have the shoulder, the beam saber effect part. Now, at first, it may not fit here. It may look like the peg looks bigger than the hole here, but as long as you can get in there, it actually works. So no need to worry, but do be careful not to snap off the peg here. And then, as like the other weapon before, it should be able to hold it pretty well. So once again, we can take this part off, do that. Yeah, as you can see, I was never a big fan of how you hold the weapons like these, but still, as long as you have the hand here, it should be a very stable connection here, so it doesn't fall off that easily. And as you can see, even with the beam saber effect part, not the effect part, with the beam saber hilt inside here, you can still pull off the transformation on the hand. So just to give out some extra details, that here we have the claws here, and then if you played the game before, here we actually have some beam machine gun blasters in here. So these holes here, these two holes are actually the barrels of that weapon. So pretty cool if you ask me. So I believe the manual does mention that you have to go with the multi-purpose hand like that, and oops, I actually accidentally dropped the joint here. So that does happen time to time, but still not a big deal if you ask me. So yeah, basically you do this with each arm, and then you basically you have to lower this part, which not this one, but actually the one on the back skirt. So basically you have to take this part off. Then there's a plastic ball joint here that's connected to one of the two holes. Currently it's connected to on the top hole. Let me just show you guys here. So basically what you need to do is that you take this part off from the leg, and then we'll reveal that originally it was like this. It was here, but you have to basically take it off and put it onto the lower hole, and then reconnect it to the leg here, and then you have to lower down this part here. So there's also like a folding joint here. You pull it down, and oh my god, this is getting really messy. And then you're supposed to lower it down. So once again, once you got those down, you take off the head and then you cover it up. So I'll be right back with the transformed version. Okay, I'm back. So currently I cleaned up all the mess that was going on the kit. So as you can see, when if you buy this kit and you're trying to go with the transformation, expect some parts to fall off, or especially with the clip type joints, they're going to fall off eventually. So if you're not careful, or sometimes it's just time, eventually the clips will get weak and everything will start to like pop off or just get weak or loosen. So just expect that. Anyway, so here we have almost the cleaned up version. So apparently, according to the matter, they call this just the close combat mode. I could have sworn that I've read there was another name for this mode in a different place, but still, if that's the way how the manual is, I guess that's how it is. So here are the close combat mode. So I transformed both of the arms into the claw form. I lowered all the parts that has to be lowered down onto the legs here. And the only thing you need to do is to take off the head. Believe it or not, that is how it is on the manual. And then you basically, originally these backpacks would be, the side parts would be folded like this. You just need to fold them outwards like that, and then make sure you pop this out. Now, while doing the transformation, I would like to mention regarding there are certain parts I just decided to not to mention or skip because it's really a small detail, like the thrusters, that you need to like twist them and then push them in or something like that. I'm not gonna go over those kind of small details. So once you're done, you've lowered this part downwards, and then cover up the chest piece with the purple part, and you're good to go. And here we have the close combat mode, and I believe you need to lower this part a little bit down just to make sense, because there are these thrusters here. Alright, and now here we have the close combat mode, which I actually do like this mode compared to the actual Gundam mode, so yeah. Now, regarding the arms, as you can see, while you lowered it down, these side parts that were on the backpack are now working as shoulder armors. However, yeah, because the way how the joints are located here, you're not going to move the arms together like that. So your arms are pretty much going to be locked into place unless you have to move it like this. So when you're moving the arm, this part won't move together. So be aware of that. And now in this mode, the arms, let me just take this part. Yeah, let me just flip this up just to give you guys an idea. So when in this mode, bending the arm might be a little bit tricky, because while you still have the joint here, you have these bendy wires that's going on. I mean, granted, they are bendy wires, but it's not a really long length that you get. So unless you have more of these, it's fine. But I would like to mention to be a little bit careful when you're bending it, because depending on how you build this area, the bend range might differ a lot. So, and I really don't want to risk, not disconnecting the wires itself, but basically there's no point of where they lock the wires in place, and I really don't want those to like fall off eventually. So yeah, I'm being a little bit careful, but still, because of the way how these parts are, this area is, bending the arm is not much of an option. So you want to move the entire arm and shoulder together just to give out that range. And once again, yeah, and managing the shoulder might be a little bit tricky, but thanks to the shoulders having a good amount of range here, they can actually move forward and backward. Their range is pretty well done, so you should be able to adjust a little bit more just to make it look better. And that's pretty much it for the review. So once again, I actually do prefer the close combat mode compared to the Gundam mode. So yeah, this was basically the review of the P-Bandai exclusive HD Gundam Aesculapius. Now, once again, I would not recommend this as a first-timer's kit. If you're used to Gunpla kits, then you can give it a try. Or if you're a really big fan of the very old kit, then you can definitely try this out as well. But once again, not really recommended for first-timers, because it has a really uncommon gimmick, and then a lot of stuff here are just really difficult to manage, and it can really feel a little bit messy. So just be aware of that. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the Gundam Aesculapius HD P-Bandai kit. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.